Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast. And here's your host, John Chapman.
What is going on, faithful? Coming to you live from MetLife Stadium. The 49ers come out and put on a huge offense, defense, special teams, complete game, win by double digits on the road. Were the Giants a good team? No, they were not. They were overcoming injuries, not near as bad as the 49ers, but they're part of this new, kind of youth movement. Jackson Dart looked great at times. But the 49ers controlled this game, not from the jump. That very first drive was rough. Defensively, you gave up a 10-play, 60-plus yard drive for a touchdown. It started to look a lot and feel a lot like the Texans. You allowed kind of the Giants crowd to get into it in a positive way. But then after that, the 49ers offense goes out there, executes flawlessly down the field. Mac Jones finished the half 14 of 14 without an incompletion. Complete control from that point there on. Major games from several key players for the 49ers. Have to give a shout out to Tatum Bethune. Finished with, I think, 16 tackles in their pass breakup. Is he Fred Warner? No. Can you tell that Fred Warner's not out there? Yes. But if you get that quality play, from a linebacker that can get things straight, and there was a major miscommunication. I think it was in the second quarter with about 2 to 3 minutes left, where the 49ers were about to give up a giant explosive. Communication was off. You weren't lined up correctly. You had a busted coverage in the making on the offensive left side, defensive right side. Niners had to burn a timeout. Not ideal going into the 2-minute warning, but that is the difference between the defense last week versus the Texans and this week. Coaches caught it. Look, there's going to be miscommunication going from Fred Warner to Tatum Bethune, but it didn't cost you. It cost you a timeout, which that don't act like that's nothing, because you definitely could have used that later on in that 2-minute drive. But you're negating and stopping the big losses from a defensive standpoint before they happen. And so, that was huge from the coaching staff. I really do feel the jump from Robert Saleh's last game versus the Texans, which I thought was his worst game called. He apologized, I think, 6-7 times in his press conference leading up to this week. I've got to do a better job. I've got to put them in a better place. I've got to call a better game, he said repeatedly. Came out the first drive, blitzing, trying to disguise coverage, not working. They marched down the field. And Robert Saleh basically said this: dude, we're going to get there before we're not going to get there. We're going to make Jackson Dart beat us through the air. And the times Jackson Dart was perfect, the Giants dropped the ball. Or Jackson Dart would be off, and then another drop, something along those lines. So that was the game plan, to force number 6, the hot rookie, to beat you through the air with his arm, and he couldn't do it. His biggest plays were on the ground. You got the huge touchdown late for sure, but wonderfully called game from Robert Saleh and the defense. I really definitely some issues. You give it the touchdown early. Demo kind of got posterized. Gave him that huge touchdown to the tight end. Jair Brown gives up a touchdown to Jackson Dart. Mobility-wise, Diamador Lenore, who I don't think he's given up a touchdown, I think, in a season and a half. Gave up 2 touchdowns today, right? So it's not like it was a flawless performance, but these are not 2 flawless teams. And I'm not sure if there is one, at all in, the NFL this year. But you won a hard-fought battle that was 2 difficult, injured teams trying to overcome adversity, and you handled it. The 49ers go out there and scored 30 points. The most points they scored this season. I cannot remember the last time the 49ers scored 30 points on offense. Things were working. Christian McCaffrey, are you kidding me? Another NFC kind of offensive player of the week type performance. I don't know what's going on everywhere else in the NFL currently, but goes out there, 2 touchdowns, over 170-plus yards. Whether he's doing it rushing, look great. Whether he's doing it receiving, look great. Still under 4 yards per carry. But whenever you give him that many carries and you give him that many touches, which last week you didn't. So for the CMCs getting run into the ground crowd, Christian McCaffrey didn't have any touches last week. He had less than 10. So this week, yeah, you can kind of load him up a little bit. I do disagree with Christian McCaffrey getting those carries, 1 minute left in the fourth quarter up 10 points. Why is Brian Robinson not out there? Why is Isaac Lindo not out there? Allow those guys to get some carries, take some of that heat off Christian McCaffrey. And, this is a guy who bet the over on Christian McCaffrey carries, rush yards, receiving yards, all those things. But, and I have them in fantasy, but, come on, man. Allow some of the young pups to get those carries. We're in MetLife. There's less than a minute left. You're up 2 scores. But we're being picky here. The positive thing, which there are so many, the 49ers are now 6-3. You're 6-3 with the backup quarterback playing 7 games. You're 6-3 with the 49ers having the most injuries in the NFL. You're 6-3 having the heaviest road game schedule in the NFL through the first 9 weeks. Yes, trust me, as somebody that's been to every road game this year, we have traveled a ton. But now you're 6-3 with a lot of home games on the schedule. Now you're going to get a rest. You still haven't had your bye week. Overcoming adversity, grit, finding ways to win. That is what has defined this team this year. And look, Brock Purdy, whenever he comes back, needs to be the guy. I thought Mac Jones played great. Now, that fumble sack right before the 2-minute warning, that was all on Mac Jones. I know a lot of people I saw on social media talking about Colton McKivitz getting beat around the edge. Go watch that play. Go watch it. Mac Jones has to step up after that 5-step drop. You can't do a 5-step drop with no chip on the outside and not step up. There was no pressure inside. You cannot continue to drift back after that. Colton, and that's probably one of the biggest differences between Brock Purdy and Mac Jones. Brock Purdy's going to help the run game. Brock Purdy's going to help the offensive line in those areas. Plus, he adds those off-scripted plays. This is not a Mac Jones was bad or whatever else. That play, that turnover, which was the only turnover in the game, dude, that was on Mac Jones. The offensive line was not bad. And Spencer Burford coming back, decent game. We'll have to go through the coaching tape, which that's going to be up on the 49ers Rush and our Patreon page. So we'll do every offensive play, every defensive play, every special teams play as always. But I really did feel like this was a very positive, complete, complimentary game by the 49ers. A lot of positives that were there. Now, I will say this. The biggest difference between the 2025 49ers versus 2024, 2023, literally the last 8 years, is the 49ers special teams. We're going to talk about that right after this.
You know that one guy in the group chat who had a 5-leg parlay week 1 and just wouldn't shut up about it for the rest of the season? That could be you. My bookie makes it super easy to get into the action. College football, NFL, super contest, survivor pools, casino, blackjack, whatever it is you want, they got it. All the spreads, player props, and in-game lines you could want all under one roof. And if you're new to my bookie, use our code 49ers, 49ERS, up to $500 is fully covered. You make your play. Let's say it doesn't hit. You get all of it right back up to $500 when you opt in using your bet back bonus, and you get it back. It's just what it is. Comes with a one-time rollover if you use it. Now, no better time to jump in, no better place to play. Plus, we have all of our weekly bets and season bets up on our Patreon and the 49ersrush.com. So if you don't know how to get started, we've got it made for you. We show you what we bet. We show you what's out there, and we will cover that with you. It's going to be a good time. So football's back. Let's make some money with my bookie. Promo code 49ERS. Let's go.
Man, I think we had a good week betting this week. That first drive kind of killed us because we did bet, the 49ers score first, 49ers be up after the first quarter. It just took a little while for the Niners to get going offensively, defensively. But, man, the special teams. Eddie P, still the best kicker in the NFL. And I think the 49ers might have the best punter in the NFL. And the 49ers are doing great on kickoff coverage, kickoff return, punt coverage, everything. That the amount of hidden yardage. The 49ers won this game by 10. It felt you were up 17 with like 2 minutes left. They scored late. The difference in the special teams hidden yardage, that is worth a touchdown plus. Like your punter, your kicker, the Brian Robinson return and just absolutely dominated. I was talking about Christian McCaffrey earlier, and this is kind of the bridge, special teams and offense. We finally saw the blend of Christian McCaffrey and Brian Robinson being worked as a 1-2 combo and special teams. This is what it's supposed to look like. And so whenever you have CMC, who is a finesse, amazing vision, cutback runner, that's what he brings with, the passing upside. And you mix that with a bruising, tough as hell, big-bodied running back, you bring him in the second half, and you just let him bulldoze some people. And on that touchdown run from Brian Robinson, dude, he ran through like 3 people's souls and just wouldn't be denied. Then they do the kickoff the next time through, and he runs it back to like the 40-plus. With should have returned it first off, should have let it be a touchback. But when you're freaking NBA Jam heating up, let's go, man. And so the 49ers running backs accounted for 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns. CMC 2, Brian Robinson 1. But that pairing, you couldn't get in Texans because you couldn't get a first down. But when the defense is forcing 3 and outs, which you saw today, when the special teams is giving the defense long fields to defend and the offense short fields to convert, look at the freaking red zone. 4 of 5 in the red zone. This is what the Shanahan should be fired dumbasses have been claiming forever. Oh, the red zone, the red zone, the red zone, the red zone. Like, no, you had a first quarter, fourth quarter conversion. You had 4 of 5 in the red zone. You had near 400 yards offense with all these injuries. This was a great freaking statement win on the road versus a bad team. We're not acting like the Giants are good. And shoot, the Giants fans were booing their own team here in MetLife, which was cool. And I do have to say, shout out to Jersey. Event last night at the Ainsworth was incredible. Tailgate today was off the freaking charts. Had a wonderful time. The fans around us, man, we were chirping back and forth like in a great way, buying each other beers, making friends. Like, it was awesome. But, man, the 49ers did exactly what they had to do, got a statement win, and it's a little bit different than what we saw in the first part of the season because every single game was a one-possession game. This was 17 points with 2-minute warning coming. You know what I mean? So, Niners did what they had to do and put their stamp on this game. 6-3, another conference win. What did the Niners have going for them? 3-0 in the division. One of the best conference records in the freaking NFL. Well, now you got the Rams. It's going to be a fun week. We fly home tomorrow. Got a couple flights, falling on a budget. But we're going to be bringing you guys all you need. And if you're going to any of the 49ers road games this year, come join us. We'll be in Arizona. We'll be in Cleveland. We'll be in Indianapolis. The 49ers on the road. We'll be hosting events. 49ersrushroadtrip.com or go on the TickPick app, which is the best place to buy your tickets. Use code Niners. Now, I will say this. I always talk on here about buying tickets and how we wait till the day of. That window has slid up. Now the best place, and I probably shouldn't be telling everybody this, but I don't care. I care more about you guys than me. The day before has turned into the sweet spot for buying tickets. So what we've seen is the tickets are dropping the day before, and then the morning of, they're starting to spike up a little bit. So for those of you, I want you to save your money. Please, please, please buy your tickets if you're going to a sporting event the night before or the day before. But, man, great game. The 49ers win. We're doing great. 6-3. Love you guys. We'll be bringing you content all week. And until next time, stay strong, fans.